Hi guys, it is Friday the 26th of May. I think it's 26. Ignore the mess behind me. I'm sure you can see I've not made my bed, but there is a reason, because there's clothes there, so I have to move them first, which obviously won't take a lot. I've just got ready for the day and I'm just about to go around the block with, I don't know if you can see her, with my dog. It's like a 10-minute walk, but it's so hot out there I have to avoid the sun. If I go in the sun for longer than like 20 minutes I end up with sunstroke because my scalp is so sensitive. I don't know why I just showed it you, because it's not going to show how sensitive it is, but it's really sensitive, so I end up ill really easily, which is annoying. I keep trying to like build up my resistance to it, like go out for 30 minutes and then 35, but I always end up ill, so it's not much fun for me. So I actually have a floral dress on, but I will be changing it before I go out food shopping into a black t-shirt dress that I've got, which isn't long enough to be a dress for me personally, so I'll be wearing it with leggings. Like I've got leggings on under this dress because this dress is quite sheer when the light hits it, and it's got like the black t-shirt dress that I'm going to put on, it's got like a bow tie detail on the sleeve that's just above the elbow. I've actually got it out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this, but basically I don't know if you can see that because and I've had that for ages. Like I got it like either the last week of March or the first week of April, and I've not worn it, and like we're in the last week of May now, but we've not had the weather and I don't like having my arms out, to be honest, but they're going to be out elbow downwards. I think yesterday what I had on was like 3/4 length on my arms, so I had some of my arms out. But yeah, so my plan is to go out and walk the dog, come back, probably get changed, and then I'm going to go to Tesco. I've got a couple of things to do before I can leave, and then I'm going to go to Tesco, and then depending on the time I might go and park up somewhere and eat my lunch in the sun. Obviously I can't be in the sun for too long. I've actually bought a baseball cap and I hate wearing them, but I know if I don't I'm going to get ill, so I have to base my outfits around hats in the summer, which I don't like to do, so that's why I get sunstroke a lot, because I'm just like, can't be bothered, I'm just going to go in the sun, which isn't the best thing to do when you get sunstroke so easily. So I'm going to do that if I've got time. Then I need to go and pick some worming tablets up, because a certain dog needs worming because she keeps dragging her bum on the floor. Like I was walking her the other day and I was crossing the road and all of a sudden she dropped to the ground, so I thought, oh, she's scratching. Oh no, she's dragging a bum on the ground. I'm like, we've just walked past grass, why didn't you do it there? And then she did it again on, oh god, she nearly did it on some glass. We was walking past some glass on the floor and she dropped to the ground, and I was like, oh my god, and I pulled her up straight away because I thought if she's on that glass, that ain't going to be fun for her or me when I get the vet bill. So she's on the floor looking at me. She's like, take me out, I want to go out. But it's only a 10-minute one, but she gets to have a sniff and I get some fresh air. I've not done it that many times. I've probably done it about 4 times, maybe 5 times over the last 2 weeks, because a lot of the time I run out of time and I like to do it before the school that I walk past, and before the parents start piling up there, because they start turning up like 2:20 so if I can get round down there before then I do it, but if I can't then I don't. So seeing as it's only about 12:20 I'm going to go and do it now. I'm going to take this camera out with me in case I get to go out somewhere for a walk and eat my lunch, but I doubt it's going to happen, but I'm going to try for it, so we'll see if I get to film anything. Hi everyone, so it is currently 2:50. I've been to Tesco and I'm sat in my car. I've just had half a samosa and I'm drinking an orange lemonade, but I'm going to get out and do at least 20 minutes walk around the park, but I'm going to have to put on a baseball cap. I've literally bought this like 2 days ago because I know I've got to wear it, and that's why I got changed into this black t-shirt dress thing, so it would go, because it wouldn't have gone with that dress, it would have looked really silly. There's like this 50-year-old bloke with a high-powered go-kart like flying around all over the place, and I'm a little bit jealous because I would love to have a go on it. I've actually got an Evoque remote control car, but it goes so slow. It's just because I wanted an Evoque and that's all I can afford. So yeah, I'm going to get out the car in a couple of minutes. I've got aircon on, so I'm going to get out of this lovely aircon and into this sweltering heat. But I did promise myself I would come down here one day and do a 20 or 30 minute walk, but it is so hot. And this is the first day like I've literally had the chance to come down, because like I get ready so late in the day that the time I've been to Asda and stuff, I don't want to come down here because it's after school and it's going to be full of kids and things like that going on. But now like it's 20 to 2, so he's going to end up getting his remote control car in over because he's like doing it up the road now. But yeah, like I've got the perfect chance now. I've managed to get up and, well, I was up here anyway, but I've managed to get ready and get out. I've been to Tesco and now I'm doing this, and I don't want to get out of my air conditioned car. So yes, I'm just going to do this walk, then I need to come home and do the couple of things that I was meant to do and I didn't do. And then I've got to go to the vets and get some worming tablets and go to the post office. And then when I get home, I've got stuff to do that I've been putting off because I've been really ill, but I don't feel as bad today, so it's going to have to be done really, hasn't it? I don't know if I'm going to be able to take this camera because I'm going to have my phone with me and I've got nothing else. Like I'm going to have a phone and a drink and I've got nothing else. Like I mean I've got no bag, so I've got nothing to hold them in. So yes, I might film on my phone, but then that'll go in a recent vlog and not this vlog. But anyway, it is that, and I'm going. Hi everyone, it is Saturday and I have just got back from Tesco. It's 5 to 5. I've been back about 10 minutes. I am sweating so much. It is humid, if anything, outside. I've got, I don't know if I showed this yesterday, but I've got the fan from the office here. But yeah, I'm trying to update at least once a day on here, but it's going to be a nightmare when it comes to uploading because it's higher quality than my phone. Well, I think it is. It just takes ages to upload, so I've done quite a lot of clips so far, but I'm not going to upload them until I finish uploading on my phone. And I'm trying to stop filming on my phone now because I think I've got more than enough footage to get me to July. So once I've uploaded that, I can start downloading this onto my laptop and uploading clips to go up after the break from the channel for a month. Today my mum texted me a couple of hours ago and I need to reply, but do you know those situations when you don't know what to say? But basically she's had to put a dog to sleep today, and I'm finding that difficult because it just reminds me of when my dog died. It was the hardest thing that's ever happened to me. Like even now, like it's over 4 years later, it still kills, it still hurts, it's still a horrible time to remember. And I've got his ashes across the room and I'm looking at them, but that devastated me, and it was nothing anyone could say to me it helped. I got quite ill after it because I stopped eating and sleeping and drinking, and I got really ill, and I couldn't be in the house alone, and my dad had to work at home for a couple of weeks, and then I got my dog that I've got now because I couldn't cope without there being a dog. But I mean, a part of me thinks that was the best thing to do, and a part of me thinks it wasn't the best thing to do because I couldn't love her at first because I was so heartbroken about my dog. But she needed a home. I got her from the RSPCA, and I mean I got him from someone else as well, and dogs need homes, and I just couldn't be in the house on my own, so I got her, and it took me a long time to love her, which I feel really bad about, but it worked that I didn't like her. Obviously I wouldn't have brought her home if I didn't like her, but it was hard for me feeling the way I felt and having her. And I mean, she got my attention, she had my attention and everything like that, but it was probably the hardest time for me, and he died on his birthday, which made it worse. And I hadn't seen him on his birthday because I'd been up all night till like 6, 7 in the morning, and the first time I saw him that day he'd already died. I've got a feeling that I saw him and a part of me thinks it was the day before the memory's from, but part of me hoped it was from that day. But I remember walking across the top of my stairs to go to the bathroom about 10:30 in the morning, and him being sat at the bottom of the stairs and looking up at me, and I told him to go to his granddad, my dad, and I went to the toilet and then went back to bed. And then I came downstairs, and because I'd had a really crap night, I mean, the reason I was up all night was because of my ex. He wasn't my ex at the time, but he was being really nasty to me, and he kept me up all night being nasty to me. So when I got up that day, I didn't want my dog to know I'd got up because he would want attention, and as horrible as this sounds now, I just didn't have it in me to give him the attention that he would deserve. So I hope that he didn't know I was up, and he'd gone a little bit deaf. So when he didn't come looking for me, I was happy. And that's really mean to say now, because he was probably already dead. Well, he was. I mean, I don't know if he was dead or not, because I think he'd fallen into a sleep or something and didn't wake up. But I'd actually gone and stood next to him at one point, and he was dead, but I didn't even know then. And I feel like a horrible person for not realising that he died. And I was stood next to him, and I was like reaching to get something off the sofa, and I think that was like something like 4 in the afternoon, because I was reaching for something so I could go and get in the shower. It might have even been later than that. And then I was in the bathroom, and I thought, it's his birthday, I'll go and spend some time with him. And I went downstairs, and it was something like 7 o'clock or something like that. And I went down, and I went to give him like a special birthday meal. I can't remember if I put it out first or if I went to wake him up. And I walked in the room that he was in, and he hadn't moved from earlier, and the position that he was led in wasn't the normal position he led in. And I just stood at the door, and I thought, he's died. And I went up, I think I went up to him, and I crouched down, but I couldn't bring myself to touch him, because I thought if he's dead and I touch him, I can't cope with that. So I walked out the room, and I told my dad that I thought he'd died, and he went, "You're joking," because he didn't believe it. And he went in and touched him, and he was cold. It was cold, and he told me that he died. And I said he can't have died, he wasn't old enough. And he went, "No, he's dead." went back into my living room and I screamed, and I mean really screamed, and I kept saying, he can't have died, you need to keep checking that he can't be dead. And he went, no, he's dead. And I went, he can't be. And then I kind of like broke down and I was crying, and I couldn't believe it was true because he was my beautiful boy and I loved him so much. Like, he went everywhere with me. Like, he loved going in the car. Like, he would just sit in my car and like I'd go out places, and he was just the best behaved dog and the friendliest, happiest dog. And my dad sat in the living room that he died in, and like he was behind the sofa near the door, and my dad was sat on the sofa, and I couldn't bring myself to be near him or be around him, and I was in my bedroom, and I told my dad that, I mean, it was like Sunday night, and I told my dad, you need to ring the vets to find out what to do, and he rung an emergency vet and they said, you need to put him in the coldest room in the house. And at the time we had a laundry room and it was always freezing in there, so my dad had to wrap him in a blanket and put him in there. And he said it was so hard having to do that. And my dad adored my dog and my dog adored him, and he kept going in and stroking him over the night, and I didn't know how we could do that. So I literally stayed up all night and I couldn't sleep, and I was convinced the dog was gonna go off, and I don't know why I was convinced of that. I think I'd read something online and I probably shouldn't have read it. And he got to the morning and my dad's like, you need to decide what you're gonna do with him, and I went, I wanna bury him. I wanna bury him. So we found a place where you can bury animals, and it was £900 and I didn't have £900 at the time, and you can't pay for it later, and my dad didn't have the money at the time because it had just been Christmas and it was January, like the 13th, and the cremation was something like, I don't know, I think it was £150 or 200, and that's all we could afford. But I didn't want to cremate him because he was so beautiful and I loved him, and it took me a long time to agree to it. Literally, I think it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I agreed, and they shut at 5, and or 5:30 or something like that, and he was like 12 miles away. So my dad put him in my boot, and we drove over, but the sat nav took us the wrong way, and we ended up going up this really steep road to a farm, and it was snowing and it took us ages to get up this road, and then we started to go down the other side and realised it was a dead end, and we realised it would gone the wrong way, and then we couldn't get back up, we couldn't turn the car around, and we were both trying to reverse it up in turns, and eventually we did get it up there. I got it up, and we believe that he had done that because he loved the snow and he knew we needed to time, or I needed time to be with him. So we've always said, even though we know it's not really true, but we've always said that we think he did that because he loved the snow and it was absolutely covered in snow up there. We feel like he did that. I'll insert a picture of my car up there, so you'll see what it was like. And then we eventually found where we were going, and I had decided that I didn't want to see him. So we pulled up outside where well, it was a dog chapel and rest thing, and my dad and this woman carried him in. Even though my dad wanted to carry him on his own, she helped, and she made me go to the door. She made me get out my car and go to the door, and I stood at the door and I went, I can't go in, I can't see him like that. And I could see him because he don't come in him. And he made me go in because he said I have to say bye to him or else I will regret not doing it. And it took me ages to step inside the building. Like, it took me a long time. And I eventually stood in and shut the door, and he was in front of me, and because of how he was led when he would died, he died on this side of his face. He was like facing the wall, and it took me ages to go up to him, and I went to like his back end and touched the tail because he had a really fluffy tail. And I touched his tail and I just didn't know what else to do because I didn't want him to be dead. And then I slowly moved around, but I didn't want to touch his body because I just didn't want to remember that feeling. I just wanted to remember him being alive and happy. So I walked along to the back of his head and he had his eyes closed, and I kissed him. Like I went over kissed him there because I always kissed him there just before his nose starts, and it felt like this really thick glass and he was so cold. And we left, and I wanted to go back in, and my dad's like, you can't, you've got to go. And I drove back down the hill, and just before you come out on the main road there was a pub called the Black Dog, and we both burst into tears because it was a black dog. And I remember just driving away, and my phone was going like crazy, and it was my ex, like the person who I was seeing, wanted me to go and pick him up from work because he didn't want me to be on my own, and he only had like half an hour for me, or 45 minutes, and I dropped my dad off somewhere, and then I went down the motorway and went and picked him up. And what happened between me and him then wasn't what I wanted or needed at that time. And then I eventually dropped him off at home, and then went and picked my dad up because he had not even got home, and I didn't want to be in the house alone. I can't do this.